Thank you so much. Hi ladies, how are you? Nice seeing you. Thank you so much for coming.
Thank you for having us.
Toda. We're doing today Parashat Va'Yetze, and I chose to speak this time about Leah Imenu. Usually we speak a lot about Rachel, but there's so many things,
Yes.
we learn from Leah. Let's start with something funny. So this unfamiliar guy gets into a shul, and he looks so rich. He has this very expensive suit on him, and his glasses, I guess some kind of a brand name glasses, accessories that he has around him. Okay, he looks expensive. So he comes to the rabbi, and the rabbi is like, "How can I help you?" And he tells him, "Rabbi, I came to thank Hashem for helping me, for sending me so much wealth." He said, "Tell me, what's your story?" He said, "Well, I had some problems financially, and I asked Hashem to help me. From last month already, I started to put tefillin on, and Hashem helped me so much. I was able to sign this month a contract, $1 million contract, and this, and then some other deals, other businesses with other people. And now I came to give a donation of $100,000 to the shul." The rabbi was impressed. So nice. He tells him, "Wait a second. I pray to Hashem all the time. I put tefillin on all the time. In fact, I pray to Hashem 3 times a day, in the morning, in the afternoon, in the evening, and I ask Hashem, Hashem, please help me, please help me, in the morning, all the time. Why Hashem is not helping me?" He tells him, "You know why? Because you're a nudnik." You know what's a nudnik in Hebrew? You bother Hashem too much. Why are you asking so many times? Yes.
And that's what Hashem wants from us.
Should we be nudnik when we pray to Hashem or not?
Yes.
What should be the approach? It's a one-time thing that we ask Hashem, or should we continue asking again and again and again, begging, pleading, what's the deal here? So, okay. The first description that's written in the Torah, or the first time that we hear about Leah, is when it says, "Ulelavan shte banot," Lavan had 2 daughters, "Shem hagdola Leah, v'shem haktana Rachel." It's not the older and the younger, it's the bigger. Gdola, the big one, was Leah. The small one was Rachel, and I'll come back to it in a second and I'll explain why it says so. And then it says, "Ve'enei Leah rakot." The second phrase, right after this, it says, "Ve'enei Leah rakot," that her eyes, Leah's eyes, were tender. ורחל הייתה יפת תואר ויפת מראה. She was beautiful, Rachel. Okay, both, the form of her eyes and her appearance and everything. What does it mean that Leah's eyes were tender? All right? So tender means that usually they're gentle, they're sensitive, okay? Eyes, you could say, that tear very often, okay? Very fast, very easy. So it's true that Leah had some kind of a flow in her eyes. She didn't look so beautiful as opposed to Rachel, because you can understand that sometimes the mental situation or the mental circumstance affects a lot your face expression or your face at all. Rachel was carefree. She used to get a lot of attention. Everyone, she knew there was a prophecy. Okay, there was a prophecy that Hagadol lagdola ve'akatan laktana. That Esav, which was the older, is going to get married to Leah, which is older, and Rachel, which was the younger, Yaakov will get married to Rachel. So Rachel was carefree. She knew that Yaakov, the righteous one, is going to marry her. She didn't care. She wasn't worried about anything. And Leah, from young age, whenever she heard that, she was so worried about that. She didn't want to get married to that guy, to that gangster Esau, and she kept crying and crying and praying to Hashem. Hashem, I don't want this thing. I don't want this guy. I don't want this person. I don't this. And this is the reason that because she cried so much, so rabbis say that her eyelashes fell because she cried so much. Okay. So the Torah, when the Torah speaks about beauty, okay, it speaks about an internal beauty. It speaks about a spiritual, noble, pure person, okay? Sometimes you look at people, so some people, they reflect love, sensitivity, caring for others, and this you could see from Rachel, okay? She had this. Rachel, she was, in this manner, she was perfect.
Really? Oh.
And this is what Yaakov was looking for. He was looking for a perfect woman for him, okay? That would be both beautiful inside and outside, both noble, both kind, and caring, and sensitive, and all the above. So Leah, on the contrary, Leah on the other side, she wasn't perfect as Rachel Imenu. Rachel, in a way, she had luck. Everyone saw in prophecy that she's going to get married to Yaakov. Leah, she created the luck herself, her own good luck. She created herself, okay, by fighting, by praying. And praying was her strongest tool to change her luck, okay? So she wasn't this person that accepts fate. Okay, that's my fate, what can I do? I was born in a poor family, or I was born in this type of, these parents, or this is going to be my luck forever, or this is my husband, what can I do? No, she was fighting for, to improve her luck, to make it better, to change it completely. And that's what happened. So she knew that Hashem likes or loves people who fix their problem. People that struggle, like Leah struggles, okay? Struggle and are able to fix their whatever they go through, okay? Because she was fighting very much to change her luck. So Rachel, in a way, she's a righteous person, okay? This is what Yaakov was looking for, a righteous type of a person. Leah is this person that works constantly on herself. Leah works constantly on herself, in a way, kind of Baalat Tshuva, a woman that fixes. And see how it reflects by their children also, okay? Rachel, as a perfect woman, got perfect children. Who are her kids? Yosef HaTzadik was a beautiful man, both inside and out. He was a kind person. He cared for his brothers, and he wanted them to do good stuff, to become good. He cared for them even after they made bad to him. You know, he didn't hold grudge, and he was so perfect. Binyamin, her other son, was perfect too. It says he never did any sin in this world. And if there was no this decree on humankind to die, he wouldn't die. He was perfect, Binyamin.
And some people fly. How come he didn't fly? Fly to Shemayim or something.
Yeah, so Binyamin basically didn't have any sin, and he was perfect. Like, in a way, Yosef, and because it came from Rachel Imenu. What kind of kids had Leah? Leah, in a way, had all the problematic kids. Reuven was too much fast to judge, you know, and this problem, you know, it bothered him all the time. Shimon and Levi, too violent. Oh, right away, getting upset, getting this, they want to take action. They wanted to take the law into their hands and do stuff with Shem, with Dinah, with this, with that. Yehuda had a problem with Tamar, okay? And what happened with Yehuda over there? You remember?
Yeah. With his killing.
With
his daughter-in-law.
His daughter-in-law. Yeah, he didn't know it was his daughter-in-law. He just saw a woman. Right. And all of a sudden, after a while, they see her pregnant. Are you pregnant? He didn't know it's from him. And if you think about this, he judged her to death. He could go to sleep and wake up in 2-3 hours after she's dead, and no one would know that this baby is from him. Tamar, not like a typical woman of today, you know, if there's any relationship with any celebrity or something, they like to...
paternity test.
Okay, and all this. She didn't do all that, and the opposite, she cared for Yehuda's dignity. She didn't want to shame him or to embarrass him in public because he was a very important man. So she just sent him the pledges that he left by her, and Yehuda. What did he do? He admitted. Yehuda, ata yoducha, he admitted that he was wrong. And that's not easy. That's a very, very strong thing, because if he wouldn't say anything, she would die and no one would know that he had a problem, that he made a problem. So these are the kids of Leah, because Leah wasn't perfect and her kids were not perfect, and Hashem not necessarily like only perfect people. Hashem likes when people are not perfect and they struggle all the way to come closer to him. Many times relationship between husband and wife are not perfect. The husband all of a sudden either he's drunk or he's addicted to whatever, or he's an angry person, or he has this quality, or he doesn't have money, or the kids have this, or God forbid the sickness in the family. So what? She's going to fall apart because she has a problem? Hashem sometimes, many times, or all the time I should say, put us in all kinds of circumstances to see how we grow from this. And that's our job, to grow from this. We have to learn this character trait from Leah, that she constantly was trying to work on herself, to create more love between her and her husband. We're going to speak about this. To work on her kids, to work on whatever she could, because we have to understand where she's coming from, and I'll come to this in a second. Her husband didn't want to marry her at all. It was forced on him, this marriage with Leah. He didn't want to marry her. What can she do now in this kind of situation? So, yes. So everything that Leah got in her life, she fought very much to accomplish stuff, to get more and more, to get love. And in the end, Yaakov realized who really Leah was. Okay? When we summarize the life of Rachel and the life of Leah, okay, she was the loved one, Rachel. And she was supposed to be the main one, Akeret Habayit, the main one. But Leah was the one that gave birth to most of the tribes, okay? And she got so many gifts. Her kids, from Levi came Moshe and Aaron, the Leviim and the Kohanim. Okay? From Yehuda came kingship, David HaMelech, Melech HaMashiach, Bezrat Hashem, okay?
Amen.
And she got so many gifts, okay? So, you see, she didn't have comfortable life, but eventually it was worthy. All whatever she went through, because from her came this eternal gifts. And in the end of the days, Yaakov admitted, when he was in the last days, all his kids were around his bed, he said that Leah was Emma Banim. She was the mother of most of his kids, and she was the foundation to all our nation, basically.
Where she was buried?
She was buried in Ma'at Machpelah, next to him.
But we always refer to Rachel as the mother of our nation.
נכון. Rachel had her own advantages. Leah had her own advantages. And the combination of both of them were the combination that were this is the nation, the army, the Beit Israel was able to be established because of the combination of both of them. So sometimes you say to yourself, what can I give to Hashem? Everything is so hard in my life. My life is so either miserable or difficult or this problem and this problem and this problem. And sometimes you say to yourself, is there any value to all my hard work? I'm working, no one sees my efforts, no one sees what I'm doing and how I raise my kids, or the work that I do, or the job and this and that, the fact that I'm trying to bring money to the house, and you have to understand that Hashem, when He calculates it different. He doesn't calculate necessarily the results, but the efforts that you put in the things. Hashem doesn't care so much about the results as the efforts that you put into the relationship, the education of your children, all the how I try to overcome all the problems that you have in your life, and so on. So here are some few very important lessons that I collected that we learn from Leah. Number one, the power of prayer. The power of prayer of Leah is unbelievable. We learned so much from this woman. Last time we spoke about zivugim. This is the best example how a woman, or doesn't matter, someone can change upside down all her luck, all her mazal. She was not supposed to get married to Yaakov at all. She was supposed to get married to this wicked person, his brother. And not only that she got married to Yaakov, a righteous man, she also, had most of his kids, and everything changed for the good for her. So she was able to annul this decree, okay, and she preceded her sister. She got married even before her to Yaakov, okay. So it's not like, the first joke that we started with, that if you're praying too much, you bother Hashem. No, it's not. Chazal says, Kol hamarbe batfila na'ana. You pray again and again and more. The more you pray, you're going to be answered, okay? Don't despair. If one prayer you prayed and Hashem didn't answer you, or second, no prayer go for
How do you know if you're praying for the right thing? Like you keep praying. How do you know if what you're asking is good for you or not? So
you be specific with what you ask. Don't say, "Oh, I hope my brother gets married to a good wife." I hope my brother get married. Give specific. What type of a girl you want for him? What type of family you want for him? What type of this you want for him? We don't know if it's good, but ask that Bezrat Hashem they will be able to build a nice Jewish home together. Good. They should have good children. They should. When you give it specific things, it's so much better. About 10 years ago, exactly 10 years ago, in Bnei Brak, there was this guy. He was 30 years old, and he got divorced 2 times. By the age of 30, he was already divorced twice. It was hard for him to find another woman to get married. He was waiting and waiting and praying and trying, going to this matchmaker, to that matchmaker. Didn't work. Can you believe that for the next 40 years?
To the age of 40?
No.
Years.
40 years he was waiting to get to marry to another one.
So
He was 70.
He was 70 when he got to married, and he wanted children. He didn't have kids. But praying so much time, he got married to this woman that she was 50.
Wow.
She was 50. And the following year, they got twin boys.
How?
I'm so happy.
Hashem.
Enod milvado. There's only Hashem.
Hashem.
That's it.
Hashem. Unbelievable. These are prayers. These are prayers. Don't underestimate any prayer. When you really pray from all your heart. And it's unbelievable what Hashem can do.
It's such a long road.
I know, of course. What can you do? Everyone has his own nisayon that he has to go through. It's not easy. And Hashem tests us not only, if we pass the nisayon, but how do we pass this nisayon? It's so hard, very, very hard. It's not easy. Leah, though, teaches us also not only to pray, but to pray and cry. And through the cryings, okay, Hashem listens. It says in the Zohar that Leah Imenu shed so many tears, okay, not to get married to Esau, but to get married to Yaakov. And from here we learn that every person that sheds tears before, in front of Hashem, even though there was already decree that he was supposed to be punished or some kind of a problem, okay, they will tear this verdict, and they will take it away. Because when somebody cries really, and he's really, he does it with all his heart and everything, it changes. There was this lawyer that they invited him from another state to represent a certain court. And so he had to go, and he had to take with him his little daughter, because he had to be there for 6-7 months. So he took with him his little daughter. She was 7 at that time. They were there, and as they were there, lo alenu, she got sick. She got sick. They took her to the hospital. They started to check what she had. Lo alenu, she had cancer. And it spread so much. And even though they started right away with treatments and everything, one Shabbat it was, the doctor came and told him, listen, she has only a few more hours. That's it. Nothing we can do about this. He felt so bad. He felt shocked in a way. He didn't know it's so close, because he was coming and going. He was busy also with his job there. He didn't know what to do with himself. Now, he wasn't religious. He was Jewish, but wasn't religious. And didn't know what to do. So he said to himself, the only real thing that I know, the only true thing that I know is a synagogue. Let me find a synagogue and go and pray there. So he was Googling where he can find there. He found a shul, open, empty also. He came next to the Aron Kodesh and started crying like a baby. No one was there, so I guess it was easier for him.
Thank God
for 2 hours, I know. For 2 hours he cried. He cried so much. And he asked Hashem, please, if you're there, help me, please, because after 2 hours he had to go back to the hospital to see what happened with his daughter. As he comes in, the doctor welcomes him. Tells him, listen, I don't know exactly what happened, but you opened her eyes. That's a nice improvement.
Wow.
And then a few hours later, she asked something to drink. That's a nice thing. And then slowly, she 2 weeks later, she could get out of the bed, and she was able to walk, and she was able. How this miracle happened? The doctor didn't understand. He told him, the father, that she has only 2 hours to live, or a few hours. If not, because of praying, asking Hashem, crying, tearing. So so this is what number 3 that we'll learn from Leah is thanksgiving Hashem. So there was this prophecy that Yaakov is going to have 12 kids, 12 tribes. And he had 4 wives already. So if you make a simple calculation, everyone's supposed to have 3. When she got her 4th one, her Yehuda, she says, oh, הפעם מודדת Hashem. Now I have to thank Hashem. Beautiful. One of the rabbis here says, מיום שברא הקדוש ברוך הוא את העולמו, from the day of the creation, no one said thank you to Hashem. She was the first one that commemorated it in the name of her child.
Wow.
You know, thank you Hashem that, you know, you gave me more than I really wanted, and more than I really was supposed to get. So, הפעם מודדת השם. It says in בראשית רבה that לאה תפסה בפלך ההודיה, meaning לאה used this tool, okay? She had this art of הודיה. הודיה means talking, communicating, thanking, okay, Hashem. And ועמדו ממנה בעלי הודיה, all her kids that came from her, okay, were this type of people who were communicating with Hashem and thanking Him constantly. Who were her kids? King David came from Yehuda, נכון? He composed Sefer Tehillim, the Psalms, נכון? Constantly over there, praises to Hashem. All the time, all the credit for his war and wars and all the fights that he did for Israel was, you know, it was giving credits to Hashem. Okay? Yehuda, her own son, okay? He says, Tzadka mimeni, Tamar was right, I wasn't right. He admitted, okay? So, and also Daniel, it says about Daniel that all his success, he knew that it's from Hashem, and he thanked Hashem for that also.
Who's Daniel?
Daniel was a prophet that lived in the time of when we were in Babylon by Nebuchadnezzar, after the destruction of the temple. So, Leah, Leah had a merit to have King David. King David had the merit to buy the place where the Holy Temple was supposed to be built. He prepared all the foundation. He did whatever needs to be done for this Holy Temple to be built. Okay? What do we do in that Holy Temple if not bringing sacrifices and thanking Hashem for, have a communication, be close to Hashem? This is the reason that it says that in the future all the sacrifices will be cancelled except Korban Todah. Korban Todah is a sacrifice of thanks to Hashem. This thing is going to stay because, this is our job. Our purpose in life is to thank Hashem for everything we do. Rav Kanievsky once told this story that once the Malach HaMavet, the angel of death, came to take 2 souls. Okay? Just before he was supposed to kill these people, a poor man came to both of them and asked for charity. One gave charity to him, one did not. So now when Malach HaMavet came to take their life, he said to the one that gave charity, you know something, you did this kindness to this poor person, to this needy man, I won't take your life now. You're granted a long life. But you, he said, he came to you, you didn't give it to him, you I must kill. He started asking and pleading, please, I didn't know, I regret, I really do, I'm sorry, from now on I'll give tzedakah, from now on I'll donate a lot of money to the shul, to the rabbi, to this, to that. He said, I'm sorry, it's too late. And Amash, he begged him, he didn't care. So he told him, you know something, give me 2 minutes. He said, okay, I'll give you this 2 minutes. In these 2 minutes, he started to prepare himself to death. So he started to pray Hashem, Hashem, thank you so much for giving me this beautiful life. Until now, I didn't even appreciate it. I didn't know. You gave me health. You gave me a good wife. You gave me healthy kids. You gave me this, you gave me that. I started thanking Hashem for all the good things. I had good days, I had bad days, but you know, from my bad days, I just grow and I just learn and I just know how to cope better with stuff and whatever. You know, a few minutes, he just keeps saying thank you, and then he confessed before death and whatever, and then he was in a way ready to death. Malach HaMavet tells him, you know something? I cannot take your soul right now. I'll give you some more days, some more years to live. I cannot take your life now. After you thank Hashem so nicely, okay, I couldn't take your soul away from you. This is when we thank Hashem, how in heaven they appreciate it so much. Number 4 that we learn is the gifts, the presents that Leah got. It says, as I started to say about her, the first thing that it says about here is Shem HaGdola Leah, Shem HaKtana Rachel. The older, the big one was Leah. What does the mean, Gdola? Why don't they say HaBechira, like it said by Yaakov and Esau? It says, because the Gdola b'matnotea. She got so many presents as opposed to Rachel, Shektana b'matnotea. She got little, less, much less than Leah, presents from Hashem. So from her kids, I said before, it came Moshe and Aaron, the Kohanim and the Levim. Kehuna is eternal, it's forever. Kehuna goes from father to son, from father to son, from father to son. And then Malchut, kingship, King David. King David, his son, King Shlomo. King Shlomo, his son, Rechavam. It goes from father to son, until Bezrat Hashem Melech HaMashiach. What did Leah get? Rachel get? Rachel got, Rachel, it says about her that she got also, but the presents that she got are temporary. Rachel got the first king in Am Yisrael, Yosef HaTzadik. Was a king. But it was for temporary, it was for a purpose, for the redemption, and that's it. And then she got Shaul. Shaul was the first king in Am Yisrael, in the Jewish nation, King Shaul. But then Hashem took it away from him and gave it to King David. And from King David, it stayed for him forever. So Rachel got it temporary, Leah got it eternal. And I'll come back to it in a second. Then it says, it says in Midrash Rabbah, Mizo amdu alufim umelachim, umizo amdu alufim umelachim. Both of them got, alufim means chief, the most important people, and also kings, and both of them. Both of them had Nevi'im and Shoftim, had prophets that came from them, and judges that came from them, and people, okay, something interesting it says here. Leah got 2 very, very significant nights to her children and significant nights to Rachel's children. Leah, okay, got the night when Paro, okay, was about to send the Jewish people away from Egypt. Get away from here! He didn't want to see them anymore. Lel Makat Bechorot. The 10th plague, you know, the firstborn. They were supposed to die the firstborn. So at that night, Paro is looking for Moshe and tells him, please, please get out. I was afraid to be punished, to be killed. So, so that night, Moshe and Aaron were in charge of this. Moshe and Aaron came from Leah. And the second night was Leilo Shel Sancherib. Sancherib was a king in Babylon. And at nighttime, the angel just came and wiped out, he killed all their camp. There were thousands and thousands, hundreds and thousands of people there, okay, soldiers. In the time of King Chizkiyahu. King Chizkiyahu comes from, again, David HaMelech, Leah, okay? And Rachel got also 2 nights. What are the nights?
What do you mean by 2 nights? I don't understand
Okay, so what happened in the middle of the night of the plague of the Bechorot?
Okay.
what happened at that night? The redemption of Am Yisrael started that night.
Okay.
Okay?
What
this is in
Leah?
credit to Leah, because
Why?
Moshe and Aaron, that were offspring of Leah, were in charge of this. They did the miracle. They did, they were in charge of Am Yisrael at that time.
Okay.
Chizkiyahu, he was the offspring of King David, okay? Also came from Leah. What happened with Rachel's offsprings? If you remember, בלילה ההוא נדדה שנת המלך, אחשוורוש. When Achashverosh couldn't sleep, and he was trying to figure out what's happening here with Haman, with Esther, with Mordechai. Esther and Mordechai coming from Binyamin, coming from Rachel, okay? And they created the miracle of Megillat Esther. Haman al-Rashai wanted to annihilate, to wipe out, to kill, to exterminate all the Jews in one day, right? And because of Mordechai and Esther, that are offsprings of Rachel, okay, this decree was annulled. Second is about Gidon. Gidon is a judge that came from the tribe of Menashe, which came from Menashe and Ephraim from Yosef. And he also hit the Midianim at that night, and they were putting so much burden. It was so hard for them. They were ruling Israel at that time. Okay, they got free from the Midianim at that night. Okay, so from one side, they're equal Rachel and Leah in their presence, but no, Leah got it so much more, because by Leah these things were eternal, were stronger. More I'll tell you. I started to say about Yosef. Yosef was the child of Rachel. Yosef helped the Jewish people when they were in Egypt. He gave them time in a time of famine and hunger and everything, but it was temporary. And then Shaul was temporary, and Shiloh, which was the Mishkan. Mishkan was the place, the tabernacle, where Jewish people, the Holy Temple, before King Shlomo really built the temple. Right. So we had it in Shiloh, but it was temporary. And this was taken and given to the kids of... Why is it happening that by Rachel it's temporary?
Yeah, really.
Okay?
I'm annoyed. Because
Rachel, also we have Mashiach ben Yosef, first comes Mashiach ben Yosef, that prepares, that paves the road to Mashiach ben David. Because the Geulah, the redemption, comes first. The kids of Rachel start with this, and then they open the way to the kids of Leah to continue and do the real redemption. This is how it goes.
So it's like an assisting.
They are starting. Yeah. So,
why?
Rachel, Leah, Sarah,
Rachel, and Leah.
Sarah was Abraham's.
Yeah.
Rivka, Yitzchak's. You try to say Zilpah and Bilhah.
Yes.
Bilhah and Zilpah, they were the maids. Some say that there were sisters also, but they were not the most important one. The most important one were Rachel and Leah.
But they also had children. They were also part of the Shvatim, so
no problem.
they are important.
Yeah, they were important. So, so the presence of Leah depend on the presence of Rachel. Okay?
I see.
And so, but remember that it says Rachel and Leah built together Bet Israel. Yaakov couldn't do it only with Rachel. He couldn't do it only with Leah. He needed them both to build together the house of Israel. Okay? Number 5. Leah was the mother of the children. Ema Banim. Leah was barren. Rachel was barren too. Leah was barren. It says Hashem patachat achma. Hashem opened her womb. She wasn't able to get pregnant just like that naturally. She couldn't get pregnant. And Hashem opened it. Why? You see, she was designated to live with Esau. And this tells us a lot about her greatness, because she had the ability to change Esau to the good. I spoke to you before. I said that Leah, she was this type of a person of Baalat Tshuva. She was able, with her deeds, with her right approach, her right way, her persistence, her efforts, to change even the evil Esau. She was able to change him. But with her prayers, okay, Baruch Hashem, she got married to this righteous Yaakov and not to Esau. This is how it was done in heaven. So,
we're still suffering for it till today.
Hashem sent her, okay, to get married to Yaakov, and she did whatever she could. Okay, she took this help or lifeline from Hashem and hold on so tight into it because she wanted to be part of creating the Jewish nation. Now, it wasn't easy because think how a woman that her husband doesn't like her because she was not supposed to marry him from the beginning, a woman that's not loved, how is she supposed to feel? Terrible.
Of course. Yeah.
Terrible.
Sure.
And this even not knowing that she didn't know about Yaakov and Rachel relationship. She didn't know that they already met, that he told her that he wants to get married to her, that he sends her gift all these 7 years that he's working for her. She didn't know because Rachel kept it so secretly. She didn't want to embarrass her or to make her feel bad or something. She kept it secret. And Lavan took advantage of that. And all these gifts used to give to Leah. She thought that Yaakov, you know, he sent her all these gifts. But then it says, Vayar Hashem kisnu'a Leah. She wasn't hated, but she wasn't loved like Rachel. Obviously, Yaakov, his aim was Rachel, not Leah. So when she felt that she's not loved like her sister, she started crying a lot. She started, you know, and from this pain, Hashem let her get pregnant first. Okay? So, see now how she chooses a name for her kids. It's unbelievable how she commemorates her sorrow, her pain, through, you know, with the names of her kids that she gave to her kids. Reuven, Ra'a Hashem ba'oni, Hashem sees my sorrow, Hashem sees my pain. Shimon, Shama Hashem, Kisnu'a Anochi, Hashem, you know, Levi, Ata Eleveni Ishi. My husband is going to, you know, join me now because he's going to accompany me because I cannot carry him. I have 2 kids already. Who's going to help me with the 3rd one, you know? And then came Yehuda. See how it elevates the names, how they're elevating from bitterness, from complaining, from being seeing negative to the positive. So first, Hashem saw my sorrow. Hashem sees that I am hated. Hashem, now then she goes to Hashem. I thank you, Yehuda. Thank you, Hashem, for this. And then it goes to God and Asher, which also represents happiness and good luck, and all the other names that she gave there as well. So you see how she changes slowly through being bitter or upset and annoyed, and you know, from the sister, from the relationship between her and her husband and everything. She tries to focus on the good, and she fights all her way, okay, to that, and which is so from this forced kind of a relationship, okay, we see that she sees only good, and she puts this prayer. She recruits all her sad emotions, her despair, her loneliness, okay, and she channels it to her communication with Hashem, Shama Hashem, Ra'a Hashem, always constantly Hashem, please, you put me in this situation, you can change me, you see my sorrow, you see my pain, you can make it so much better, you can, and she prays to Hashem all the time. And this connection to Hashem changed her luck to the better. It comes to a point where her husband appreciates her afterwards. So Leah, think about the name Leah in Hebrew. Leah in Hebrew, it's tired. Leah, it's tiredness, it's exhaustion. This is Leah. But we know, for example, Kohanim usually are fast into reaction.
Yeah, quick.
How was Aaron a Kohen? Aaron a Kohen seems like he was the opposite.
It's great.
He was soft, he was doing peace with people, right? But it means, because the natural quality of Kohanim is to act fast, it means that Aaron worked very much on himself not to be this person. And so was Leah. Her name means in Hebrew, tiredness. I'm tired of life, leave me alone. But she did all the opposite. She was diligent, she was fast, she was doing, she was the Em Banim, she was the mother of all the kids, right? And she's never tired, she's always willing to work hard to, implement her purpose, okay? Her yearning, her wants to come close to Yaakov, to be wanted by him, and so on. So in a way, Rachel, she's used to get the attention. She took Yaakov's love for granted, and Leah did not. And here, see what happens here. When the story with the Dudaim, when Reuven found this flower that has this ability, they said there has a sgula to get pregnant with this flower. So Rachel wanted it because she didn't have children at all. Leah also wanted it. She wanted to have more kids. Rachel comes to Leah and she asks her, please, can you give me these flowers, these Dudaim? What was Leah's response? It's not enough that you took my husband. You're the center of his love. You're everything. It's not enough that you have this advantage. You also want to take advantage that I have, the fact that I'm able to bring children to the world. This is what you want to take from me?
Oh.
And again, this is because she didn't know.
Yeah.
When Rachel did this kindness, she did it hidingly, secretly. And that's the beauty of her kindness. Because when you do kindness and you declare it to the whole world, it's not kindness anymore.
At the same time, where was Leah's kindness that she already had children
here,
and Rachel didn't?
Here. Now I come to this.
Where's her kindness?
Oh, hold on. So Leah.
I get so upset about this.
Wait.
I think Leah Imenu is tremendous.
Wait, of course.
Tremendous.
No doubt.
She's gonna sit there now.
So Rachel wants a child. And see what happens now. So Rachel tells her, you know something? So you're going to be with Yaakov this night.
Yeah.
And that was a wrong thing to do. A wrong thing to do. Because Rachel, she believed, she hoped that this flower, okay, will be her remedy, to get pregnant. Leah never believed in these natural things. Her tool is Hashem, praying. So what happened? She didn't get pregnant from that, Rachel. Instead, that night, Leah got pregnant.
Wow.
She got Issachar, she got Zvulun, another one, and then she got Dinah. She had 3 kids before Rachel was able to get pregnant. Okay? So, don't put your trust on these things that might or might not work. And this is when Rachel learned that she needs to use this tool of praying too. Nitkan'a ba'achota, she was jealous of her sister. What she was jealous at? At her good deeds. She saw that Leah is so close to Hashem that she prays to him all the time and Hashem fulfills her wishes. So she said, I also want to be like that. I also want to have this special communication, this special connection to Hashem. And this is when she started praying.
She never prayed before that?
She did, but she asked Yaakov to do the job. She said, you pray. Yaakov says, no, it's your job. It's you're supposed to pray to Hashem. This is why he answered her in a harsh way. Ma, it's not my problem, it's your problem. I have kids, you don't have kids. And all the rabbis are asking, why do you say such a thing to a barren woman? She's miskena, she doesn't have kids. And this is just because he wanted to shake her up a little bit. Hello, you have to start praying. You trust on me. You rely on me and my love, which is fine. I love you. But you have to pray to Hashem. Hashem is the one who gives kids, not me.
Wow.
So, now, I want to tell you something here about Issachar, and then I'll do the connection with Leah. Leah, not to embarrass Rachel, they made an agreement. So she's going to be with Yaakov that night. She went out of her tent to meet him in the field before he comes to the house. She already heard him coming. She heard the donkey. So she went outside so that he won't have to go and step into Rachel's tent, and Rachel will tell him, not tonight, and it's not nice. Okay, so she went outside so that she won't have to go through this. Okay, and she welcomed Yaakov, and she told him, in a way, Sachos Chalticha, I rented you out for tonight, something like that.
Oh my.
Bedudei bni, instead of this dudaim. And something interesting happened here. Yaakov till now, yeah, she was his wife, yeah, it was a forced relationship. He got used to that fact in a way, but again, he never appreciated her so much. But when he saw that she tried so much, she went out of her tent to greet him, to tell him the good news, to speak to him, to ask him, to be with him, he saw that she came in a very assertive way, and she welcomes him, and she really wants that. This is when it says that he thought so positive about her now, so nicely, so in a nice way now, that from this came Yisachar. Yisachar, the yesh sachar, reward, you get a reward. From this came Yisachar, that a guy that keeps learning Torah all the time. Chazal say like that. Leah went to ask Yaakov to be with him. It's not nice. Halachically, a woman cannot demand from a husband to be with him. It's not nice. Halachically, it's not tzniut. It's against the tzniut. They're not supposed to do this way. So the rabbis say, don't do this kind of behavior, but it says, כל אישה שטובת בעלה לדבר מצווה, יהיו לה בנים שאפילו בדור של משה לא היו כמותם. If a woman shows affection to her husband, shows love in a way that, she puts on herself certain clothing, or she puts certain makeup, or she adorns herself in front of him, she says all kind of affection words and stuff, makes him want to be with her. This is when she's going to, this type of a couple, they're going to have such a beautiful, such a very smart kids, that even in the generation of Moshe, there were not kids like them. Because why? What brings these successful, special children, if not the love that there is between husband and wife? And here in this relationship, both Yaakov and Leah felt this special unity between them, and this is why Issachar came from this relationship. So the Sforno says, Midato, Biroto, okay? From his own will he came to her, not because he felt pity on her like till now it was or something. His own will, he saw her agility, he saw her efforts, he saw everything. Okay, he went forward, willingly. So
in this way, kids comes out different.
So see what happens here now. Rabbi say, Rachel, you thought that from having this dudaim you're going to get pregnant, and you didn't put your trust in Hashem, and so she had to wait so much time afterwards, and meanwhile she sees her sister gets pregnant again and again and again. And from this came Issachar and Zvulun. They say Issachar used to sit and learn Torah, and Zvulun used to go and do all the business, and then it comes and supports Issachar. This is the friendship that they had between Issachar and Zvulun. Why she got this? Because at that moment Leah Leah didn't want to embarrass Rachel. She went out, okay? She did think about her sister, and the same way that there was this unity between Issachar and Zvulun, so was between Rachel and Leah, that from they cooperate now with the Dudaim, from kind of being there was a lot of tension between them. From this tension they learn how to cooperate with each other, and this is now we're going to see how this cooperation worked so beautifully. When Leah gave birth to Reuven, Shimon, Levi, Yehuda, Issachar, Zvulun, Gad, Asher, okay, with the children of Zilpah, and she was afraid that Rachel will be now less than the maids. Mm-hmm. She got pregnant with Yosef. Leah got pregnant with Yosef.
Really? Wow.
And she prayed to Hashem to change it to a girl.
Wow.
And she got Dinah. Dinah means she made the din, she made the judgment. Again, she used this tool of prayer. And she asked Hashem, I don't want to see that Rachel suffers so much. She needs to have children too. She needs to have at least two, you know, like all the others. And this is when Hashem listened to her, and Rachel got her children. Now, because Leah did now chesed back to Rachel, this is when Rachel's first chesed, when she gave the simanim to Yaakov, this is when it took place. This is when Hashem opened her womb and she was able to get pregnant with Yosef and later on with Binyamin. So Hashem, He wants to see kindness between us.
People, yeah.
Then He showers blessings from above.
It's true.
This is how it works.
You know what? Rachel Imenu, 7 years, she gives the gifts over to Leah.
But Leah didn't know.
But
Leah didn't know.
but
She didn't
still,
know.
Hashem couldn't give her just as many children as Leah, if not
But
more.
again, everyone goes
That's
through a
huge.
different test.
Yeah.
She went through this kind of a test, that she didn't have kids, and Leah, went through this type of a test that she felt not loved, which is terrible, terrible, terrible way of feeling.
Yeah.
And the beauty is to see how they coped with this. So, Emma Banim Smecha, when we say, it relates to Leah here. She gave birth to most of the children. Number 6, Leah had the merit to be buried with Yaakov Avinu in Ma'arat HaMachpelah, which Rachel did not. And you know why? One of the reasons is when we go back to that incident with Issachar, okay? When Rachel tells to Leah, so this night you're going to be with Yaakov. It says in the Midrash something very strong. It says, לפי שזלזלה במשכב הצדיק, שזלזלה, she didn't think it's so important, she didn't appreciate being with Yaakov that night, לא זכתה להיקבר עמו. She didn't have the merit to לשכב, it's to lay down, okay, to be with him, to lay next to him forever, okay, in Ma'arat HaMachpelah.
Wow,
See
I
how
never heard that
important
one.
it is.
Wow.
Well, you know, we as women sometimes, I'm tired, leave me
Yeah, I
alone.
know.
Okay, so, again, so
No,
yes.
I appreciate it. Where is it, the grave? We can't go there, right?
Why? We can. I sent you a picture today of Leah במערת המכפלה. She's next to Yaakov.
So we could
Abraham
go
and
to...
Sarah, Yitzchak and Rivka, Yaakov and Leah, ואדם הראשון וחווה. They're all there.
My husband takes me maybe 100 places and I'm like, I don't know where am I.
No, this you would remember if you would be there. מערת המכפלה, you would remember. Special place is in Hebron. Hebron. Rachel Imenu, you were?
Yes.
Yeah. So Rachel Imenu is the way to Hebron. To the Hebron, you have to travel, you know, another half an hour or so to get there.
Holy Jesus.
Number 7 that we'll learn from Leah is trust in Hashem. The Torah teaches us that, and come back to it again and again with the Dudaim. She trusted in the Dudaim instead of praying to Hashem. And Leah constantly, all the time, okay, is praying to Hashem. Hashem, you're there. Hashem, you can give me, you can do, you can this. And Hashem listens and He gives her, and He showers her, and He showers her, and He showers her. In the end of the days, Yaakov Avinu, when all the kids, his kids were around his table, his bed, he said, "Vayishtachu Israel al rosh hamita," it says. Okay, he bowed down to the head of the bed. Ma ze rosh hamita? Leah. He admitted that Leah was the most important part of building Beit Israel.
I mean, wow, we don't even think that way. We think of Rachel all the time.
But Rachel and Leah both, as I told you, he needed both. I added here another section here. Yes. It's a little bit Kabbalistic, why Yaakov needed both Rachel and Leah. Rachel, that represents always kindness and goodness and this and that. She had to learn how to cope with judgment. Okay, Leah, that's constantly is judgment and this and that. Okay, had to learn. They both balanced Yaakov. He needed them both. Abraham, which was just kindness, needed Sarah. Sarah was judgment. Rivka was kindness, needed Yaakov, was Gvura, needed Yitzchak. And so Yaakov, which is perfection, he needs to put together both materialistic world and the spiritual world, and Rachel and Yaakov together were able to balance him. Of course, there's so much, a lot to speak about Rachel and Leah and all whatever they teach us, but let's learn from these great women. And it says also that La'atid Lavo, Hashem is going to put Himself the crown on Melech HaMashiach that comes from Leah, just because he came from David that kept praising Hashem all the time. And these are the things that you learn from Leah. Let's the zchut of Leah be, helping us, and B'ezrat Hashem we should witness the Mashiach. B'ezrat Hashem.
Amen.
Thank you so much. God bless you.